And speaking of reflection, it is trippy because the one that I see, like my face looks different on these videos, as it looks in my mirror, it looks different. And on TikToks, it looks different. Like I see all these different sides of my face or something now. And it is curious to see, like, if we didn't flip everything upside down with our eyes, like it is very curious. But that wasn't what I was going to talk about. It was just when I was setting this up, I went in the bathroom to brush my teeth, and then I come out here, it's like, oh my God, it looks so different in that mirror. And then when I look at this, I was like, what do I really look like if you're standing across from me? Like, do I look like the image in the mirror, which I call my magic mirror? Or do I look like the one on here? It's weird. But I think everybody sees you different anyways, Like they notice things about you, like say somebody really likes eyes or nose or certain things, and those things are going to stick out to them. So, and then people who don't like certain things, that. So it kind of comes from within somebody, what they see, I think. But I'll tell you, go out and look out in your skies. Like, this was weird. So I just left to go, get cash and stuff, which I got cash out. I got a 500 out. And then when I went into the weed store and I said, oh my gosh, it makes me so nervous every time I think there's not going to be cash when I go to the cash machine, because I keep seeing all these people on TikTok saying that they're going from machine to machine to machine, can't find cash. The banks won't give them cash, like all sorts of horror stories. And she was like, just everybody I talk to, it's just kind of, I feel like everybody just kind of pats me on the head. Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about that. It's like, okay, I won't. Let me let her out. God, she just came in. She just came in 2 seconds ago. I gave her a treat, go in there, brush my teeth, come out, and then she's like, I want back out. She's very bitchy. And anyways, so when I just left, so I did get the cash out, and saying anything, it just, man, everybody I see something do, they just are not going to see it coming. It doesn't even matter. To the point where, on my whole way drive home, I was like, okay, maybe I am just fucking crazy. Like, if there wasn't so much evidence to show me that I wasn't, then it would be like, man, because when is the physical world going to match what I see? Like, it's weird, man. Anyways, so what I saw on the drive, though, this was trippy, because I was already like looking up at the sky because it was so weird looking. And so then these weird cloud formations and these weird colors and multi-layers and stuff. And so I was trying to notice if there was craft. So I was really looking up at the sky. And plus there was a ton of traffic, weirdly enough. I don't know where all this traffic. So I wasn't going very fast. I'm just kind of driving. I'm looking at the sky and looking at cloud formations, which some of them I was like, oh, that's got to be a ship. Oh, that's got to be a ship. And because they're just like this white, just spacecraft looking cloud just sitting there, like out of the blue. It's like, that is very strange looking. And so then while I'm looking and I glance over and I'm like, oh, so the moon's still out. And I look down at my clock and it was 8 something, I think 8:15 or something like that. And so then I looked back at it and I was like, what is that? Because that is not the moon. Like, what the fuck is that? And so I was looking and I was driving, so I couldn't, and then I thought, okay, on the way back, now that I know it's going to be there, because I'm on the highway, I'll pull off somewhere so I can get footage of it so I can show, because this is weird, because there's no freaking way. I mean, it's a new planet or something. Like, it's something. It's huge. There's no way it's the moon, because it's like 4 times the size. It's fucking huge. And it was, like, if you've seen the moon in the daytime, like, if you know what that looks like I've seen it ever since I was a kid, but now people are noticing it more. So if you've ever looked up and seen the moon in the daytime, how it looks kind of like white, and then on part kind of like almost see-through or something, like almost like a holographic image or something, like, and who knows in this true, I mean, everything is a hologram, but what is it of nature and what is it created? That's the question. So I don't know. To me, it looked like a planet that's getting way closer. Like, it was freaky. Like, is that the wormwood thing or something? And I was seeing it from a different distance, because the sun would have been way over here. The sun, I mean, well, we still don't have a sun right now. I haven't had a sun in days. When we get it, it's just so sporadic. But we get so heavily sprayed, and the sky was so fucking weird. Like, there was parts where it looked like someone had a spotlight, like all this white light where it should be dark. Like I've talked about, like this inversion in the sky that makes no sense. Like the closer the horizon, it's like the light's on. It's like, that's weird. And so it'd be dark, and then all of a sudden light, but then the lighting was totally off. So all that weird stuff. Then the giant planet thing, the sun would be way over there, and this was way over here. And so is that what they're trying to make us not see, or is this something else? Like, is that other thing behind the sun? Like, I don't know. I've seen lately where people have been showing footage where there's 2 moons out, and you could look at this and go like, that's a moon, except for it's way, way so huge. It's humongous. So it was like in Bruce Almighty, you know, when he pulled the moon way up close. That's what it made me think of. And I was like, okay, so is this something they're trying to block? By the time I drove down and turned around and came back, which I was only down there for a few minutes, it's already all sprayed, like whatever was sprayed. Like, you don't see anybody spraying right now, but the atmosphere that's created starts spreading and makes these multi-layers. And so it was kind of like I saw the different layers on the way, but then when I came back, they'd kind of spread to create this tinting atmosphere kind of thing. And so then when you got up, you couldn't see anymore what was over there, which to me, it was like, every time I hear the planes going over and stuff, I'm just like, man, the thing's getting closer. It's like, it's got to be the firmament. It's coming down on us. Like, there's something weird about it. How the sound so loud, and how things are getting so much closer. And the truth is becoming out. Clarity is becoming a part of our image of, you know, it's like it all kind of goes together. So, you know, I don't know, but I would say go out and start looking, like, not just trying to see like the sun or the 2 suns or something. There's other things up there. I wish I would have got footage, but it was like right when I saw it, it was like you're on a state highway and it's on this curve thing. And then I would have to hurry and pull up in somebody's driveway. And then, I don't know, I just thought, I'll just get it on the way back. I wasn't even thinking you wouldn't be able to see it. Like, it would be just a white sky then. So, and, you know, fucking poison bullshit. And so it's just what I had said. It's all the stuff, what I have been saying. I just saw somebody sharing, Judy talking. If you don't know who she is, I've talked about her a lot. I mean, she was somebody who was in the very beginning of 2020 that I saw that I thought would help everybody, sent it. And then all of a sudden it was like, that's when I started seeing, man, what is up with people? This is weird. Like, they won't even watch a video. They don't even try and become informed. Like, what? And then the way they came back and started immediately telling me like she was a conspiracy theorist, she's anti, and all that stuff. So anyways, I just saw her talking, and you know, she's really upset. She wants them to stop these things. And she said, you can't even imagine the amount of baby deaths that is going on from this. And in that newscaster that I had just seen this morning sharing her thing, after, bragging about 3 and then sharing her good news, and then seeing that Judy one, it's probably like just a couple cents. Like, I haven't been on there, but I think it was just like 1 or 2 back. And this was the first one I saw when I went on there, it was Judy talking. And I was like, oh, do I even want to go back and talk right now? Because it was very interesting. I would say everybody needs to be going out and looking at the sky all the time, especially if you have any chances to see it without the cloud coverage or the fog. And so many people are being encased in the fog, which this is so similar. It's just changing our atmosphere somehow, like what they do. And I know it is very much distinct with the areas and stuff. And it already, the 15-minute city, they're already moving forward with that in Paris. I think there's a deadline where there's no cars allowed there. You're only allowed to use electric cars or bikes or something. I get a fucking horse and carriage, I swear to God. It's like, no, thank you. The Amish can do it. Like, we all got to start coming together. I mean, like, we'll have our own rules. Like, you guys are going to keep this going? We'll just come together and we'll make our own rules. We're a religious sect. We're the nature people. It's like, fuck them and their shit. So, anyways, what she was saying was just as I've been motherfucking talking about. Just like the stuff that they show me and have me see. And then I go in and I hear her saying this stuff. So, it is all about this genetic mutation stuff that they're doing to us. And it is all this mixing animals and humans, just like what I have been saying that they have been doing. And not only that, I've seen where this one girl on TikTok, she keeps sharing these weird videos of, I don't know what country this is. I would say like India or Turkey or something. And they're doing a ceremony on this woman because she's a half goat, half human, like the bottom half of her. And this girl who's showing these videos, I keep seeing, it's called something, a Siddhartha or something like that. But there's some kind of ancient folklore, half animal, half human kind of situation, which we hear this stuff all throughout folklore and history all the time. The blood eaters, the putting Frankenstein pieces together, the mad scientist who's messing and creating half animal, half human and trying to create these super soldiers. I mean, it's over and over and over and over and over. I mean, and then, so she said that the something was going on right now with one of the situations, because like I said, it all depends on what you've gotten in you, not just of these, but what other things you consume of the chemicals and additives and toxins and cancer causing, all that stuff, because you're a science project and that's your data and that's what they're tracking. And so and different people can want in on the data, and target us because they think they know us, because they are the information that they have. But anyways, so something that's going on right now comes from I think it was the smallpox, one of those that we got that they forced us on in the 60s. That's activated. Something that they put in there, they activated with what they are doing right now. So that's why I was saying, like, this has been a long thing. Like, these people who think, well, I didn't get this. Well, did you get any ever? Because they're working all together. This is like the icing on the cake. This is like, the birthday party. This isn't, they've been wrapping the presents this whole fucking time, through our whole fucking lifetime. So whatever these certain things, and she was talking about, like, it's all about that function of that I can't talk about. And that, mad scientist kind of mentality. And this, they've got to outdo one another. They have to out-God one another. Like, I cannot believe people worship these people. Like, fuck, these mad scientist motherfuckers. And so then, so they are putting, like, in the one she was talking about, I can't remember what she said, but it had like rat DNA or mice or monkey or something. So they have certain, there, it's not just, it's like a protein, which I knew there was something with the protein. I knew they were targeting certain proteins. And that it's something with some kind of an animal protein. And this word, she could even barely say it. She kept messing up saying it. It starts with an S. You could just look up this video. I think that's pretty recent. Might even be that she just did it. But it starts with an S, and it's some kind of a strange word. But that is a protein or something that's in like our DNA structure or whatever. And so, but we shouldn't have other animals in ours because it messes up our stuff. But that is what they keep doing. They keep trying to mix it. Like, I'm telling you, I know that's what the fucking thing is about. Why white man can't jump. That shit. That is the same kind of shit as what they do with dogs. We don't want them to do this. We don't want them to do that. And like right now, they're being so blatant. Like, they don't want you to have sex. They don't want you to have gender identity, cultural identity. They want you to be an empty slate. The only identity you have is one that is created in a metaverse. So other than that, you're just like a white sponge. And, I think that is the whole thing of the process. Even when that guy was talking about we're all shades of brown, look at how that's what they're doing, trying to fucking take the melanin out to strip them out and make them white. And then more and more stuff I keep seeing about the shit I know I'm right about. And then they took their superhuman whatever white people, and then they put them in positions as slaves but over the other slaves to create division. And then they had to start making them go against each other, because all of the stuff that they've done to create division, create racism, and all of that, I mean, they created all that just to try and make us divide on stuff. And then, some people are just so gullible. I think that is a big part of why they wanted so many damaged people in society. They want society to barely be hanging on. That's why they got to infiltrate it with CPS and FBI and CIA and all that stuff. They're there to take us down from the inside. And, all on the whole thing of smiling at us and acting like they're doing us a favor. Just like right now with my fucking water. Like, what the hell is in it? And I am not kidding you. Even washing my dish. Yesterday I washed off some cabbage, and it was just an oil on it. And then I was like, just peeled the leaves off, and I was like, I'm not even going to wash the inside. I don't know what the fuck this shit is. And you can feel it on everything. In my hair, I feel like I've been wax coated. And then outside, whatever that gel is. And then this high-pitched frequency that keeps going. My hair falling out by fucking handfuls a day. It's like, oh my God, I just cannot believe this. But even every time, I talk about the money thing, people just don't believe. I don't understand. It's so weird. Like, I can see that the people, like me, the investigative minds, the ones who need to understand their environment and their world, and the ones who ask the questions, like, I can see how that'd be annoying to these other people, because they don't ask questions about anything. They just accept whatever. They're more focused on, outdoing their neighbor or having their neighbor like them, one or the other. So it's so different of how we look at things. Even I told my mom about the oil in the water, and she's like, well, call the water company and complain. It's like, they're doing it on purpose. It's like, that's the whole thing, is this poison stuff. Like, it's just nonstop. Like, pay attention to your fucking, like, if you had a thing, like, test kit. No telling, like, how much stuff keeps changing and stuff, and what's coming down in the sky and everything. I mean, they're working on shots that they gave fucking in the 60s, and then you can see, like, I don't even know. Do they still give those? Is it just a certain age group? Is that an attack on, you know, people in their 50s to 70s. Like, I was another thing Judy said, like, it's horrible because they are killing old people off, and they are killing, well, they're killing young people in the midst of it, but killing old people off by record numbers, and then little babies. And, you know, killing off little babies, I'm telling you, you got some fucking drug situations going, drug abuse, you know, needing to detach from reality. People can go hardcore on the drinking and the drugs with the loss of a child. Think about how many people we have right now in that state. And then also with depression, you know, to get them all on fucking more pills. Like, God, I told you, always with these people, it's always like one bird. What is that? One stone and two birds. That's what they're always freaking trying to do. Everything has a part B, C, like everything. Even when you look up like their agendas, 21 to 30, all of those things, it's like subsection A. We will poison them without them knowing it. We will use, and then one, we will use frequencies that they don't understand because they are not technologically sophisticated. They are absolute, like the way they talk about us, you know, in the CIA and stuff, how they, you know, like they just look at us all like we're just stupid. And then the ones that do question something, they have a whole way to just take us down and make us look like crazy fucking idiots. And then, man, I don't know. It's one of those days where it's like, oh my God. It's not like vindication or something. It's not like, but it is essentially. It's to just, you know, be seen, not as how you're seen. Because it is like how I'm seen. Like, this is totally talking to me. Like, I get it. Like, because I have been so just talking through. Okay, I get it. Yes. They don't ever let me just be whiny about some of this stuff, but it is frustrating, you know, to not be seen and to always be looked at through the view of that you were mentally ill. Like that, you know, I swear to God, every interaction is just like this little pat on the head. Okay, you'll be okay. Just go lay down or something. It's like, I'm not crazy. Just because I pay attention in life doesn't make me crazy. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know it's a big thing. Some people definitely can't understand. If you're talking to the other side, then that just absolutely, you must be a crazy person. And you're just sitting around talking to yourself. You know, so I'll just tell you, when you're talking to yourself, it's in a completely different place. So you will recognize when you're not talking to yourself. If you think it's all about just talking to yourself. Because when you're talking to yourself, you'll hear it at the front. It's like it's at the big front of the processor. You'll hear it. It's almost like it's like right here when you're talking to yourself. And then when you're talking to them, it's way back here. It's like you're hearing, like I said, it's almost like a whisper because it's like they're way at the back of the room. And so when you're talking to yourself, it's very at the front. So, and when you're talking to yourself, you can't ask yourself questions you don't know the answers to. You can't answer a question for yourself if you don't know the answer. That will help you be able to hear, where is that coming from? And you'll start seeing, and you might not be able to hear. If you got too much noise up here, you won't be able to hear back here. So, and I just know the reason that I know is just because I know what it sounds like, because they talk to me and I remember I can hear it. I just know what it sounds like. But it sounds like it's way back here. And then even like it can be, because it seems like it's definitely not at the front part. But sometimes it can be like a little higher up. But sometimes it's kind of more like depending on how attached you are to the conversation. So say I'm just doing something and, you know, something comes into my head or something. I gotta wonder how that works like that. Do they put something in my head that they want me to think about? Like, I don't know. Or was it always going to happen? I was going to think of that and they're just waiting for me to think of it. Like, I don't know. I don't get how the whole thing works. But say I'm doing something, then or sometimes even if I ask a question, I've got to listen and I'll hear, it'll be way back here. But then it seems like if I'm talking and talking and talking back and forth, the kind of like the conversation moves up and is more like in here. So it's kind of like you just start hearing it, but it's definitely not at the front part. The front part seems to be like if you're spinning out on your own thoughts and thinking and thinking and thinking and replaying something, that seems to be up closer, like to your viewfinder, so that you can re-experience whatever it is you're trying to look at. And the whole problem is because they're teaching us wrong. The people spin out, and freak out over, like, because they want to control certain things. Like, if you just figure out, like, you have no control. It's always going to happen the way it's going to happen. And it's happening for your benefit. It's not as a punishment. Like, and it's hard to do. Like, even just sitting here thinking, like, every day, are we going to have a tsunami suddenly come in? Are we going to have sirens? Are we going to, like, what's going to suddenly go down? Or, the bank's going to go, like, there's still, I saw the one guy who is, he was talking about the planes, like there was 22 planes that went over him or something. And he keeps talking about that. And he said that we're on DEFCON 2. And DEFCON 2 is right before DEFCON 1. As it goes to DEFCON 1, that's like, okay, we're in a nuclear war. So he said we're just like right below it. And he said he's getting his information from retired military guys. He said not guys that are in there. He's talking to guys or older military guys, more like officers and stuff. So he's talking to those kind of guys because he said he's always got like these newer kind of guys who he calls them grunts coming in and telling him, he's like, you guys don't know anything. So he starts arguing with them back and forth. Like they've all got their arguments going with somebody. But so anyways, he said that we're at DEFCON 2 and that there's tons of military action going. And so, to me, it's like we've got all these fucking balls up in the air. We've got a lot of balls in the air. Like, so, something's going to start falling. And once one falls, and you're not going to be able to catch them. It's going to be like coming down, like the storms that they bring upon us are going to be coming upon them. I just look forward to it because that is going to be that switch where we don't keep being seen through this lens of crazy. Man, I look forward to it. And the way it drags and drags, sometimes it's just like, man, is this ever going to happen? Like, oh my God. So anyways, I just wanted to say that when I saw that sky and then I saw Judy and I just knew it. I knew like that stuff that they've been putting in. She said some of them have a little bit of rat and a little bit of money, a little bit of that. It's all to switch this stuff up in here. It's all an experiment. It's all to see, like, what happens if we do this? What happens if we do that? Well, can they live off this? Can they live off that? Because all of this is experiment leading up to their superhumans. Like, this is all just, we're all, what are those? Prototypes. The prototypes they keep showing of all these robots. That's how they look at us. We're just the prototype humans. Now they've even, switched it. We're not even going to be called human anymore. Now we're going to be called some other fucking thing. And I'm not going to go with their more division between either you have this or you have that and you're called this and you're called that. No, fuck off. We all know. You've been putting all this shit in us. Don't fucking try and subcategorize us and try and just create division. That's all they motherfucking do. And they know that we all have the same motherfucking shit in us. They know that it all has been put into us. Every fucking, like somebody who's my age who has been, well, I don't know. I mean, Jesus Christ, I bet you some of my kids have more than me. And, you know, like there's a reason why they say Gen X, Gen Z, Millennial. Like there's a reason why they're categorized. Now these kids, or all these people have to jump on board. Get me a label here. Labeled me up. It's like, like fucking, it's like lab monkeys and lab rats. Like, oh, look at me, I got a special cage. It's like, okay, good on you. Oh God. Anyways, so just you know, be aware. You are just you're just some sort. When they tell us that we are just some sort of mistake, they really mean it. We are just like, they just keep making mistakes. They don't know what to do. They just want to clear the board. Get rid of these ones. We need them to be more subduable. We need them to not think for themselves, for sure. Like, I swear to God, Westworld, fucking documentary. So, anyways, be safe and go out and look up at the sky. Go out and look all the time. Every time you see any sky, go out and look. I'm telling you, there's something weird happening up there. Like, that was not the moon. It was fucking huge. Man, I don't know. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.